We'll begin our pranayama. If you'd like to change the cross of your legs, now's a perfect time. Now, in these little positional shifts, there's little shifts of mind. It really is that subtle and that particular. From one moment ago, right, from deciding on how you're participating in this process, having switched your legs, can you reconnect to that? And that's a really cool technology to change that little sliver of persona-hood, to change our position. And really, as something as simple as changing the cross of our legs can be enough to forget or enough to remember. We start with Kapalabhati, just like yesterday. So with our feet active, Kapalabhati, short, sharp exhalations. We'll do about 50. So begin those now. Let Kapalabhati be a technique for helping us feel the motion and the movement of breath from floor to crown, from our entire core. And now we'll do a short series of breath holds. So we'll inhale 10, we'll hold 10, we'll exhale 10. I will talk us through. Start by emptying or exhaling everything out. With shoulders relaxed. Permit the belly to soften gradually over this 10 count inhale. Begin slow, 2, halfway. Still inhaling. Hold. We'll hold for 10. Softening belly. Halfway. Lifting the brain away from the tail. Exhale. Exhale for 10. Halfway. Keep exhaling. We'll do again, 10 in. So measuring, perhaps slowing that inhalation down is the task. Hold 10. Now as you're holding, can you feel the absorption of breath? And some of you may even feel the absorption of the oxygen from the blood into the tissues. Some of you can feel the oxygenated and the unoxygenated blood in your body, having exhaled. We'll do one more like so, your count, your framework, 10, 10, 10. It's usually softening the belly on inhale that's would be the helpful thing for many of us. Great. So what we just did, Kapalabhati and ratio breathing, 3 rounds of 10, 10, 10. We're going to do that all over again. So let's begin with the Kapalabhati, the short, sharp exhalations, about 50 pumps. Let's begin those now. You can start to feel how breath circulates, pumps, streams, moves through your core. For some of us, it's a strictly belly affair. For some of us, we can get the sense of something in the top of our head or higher than our gut. And then begin your 10, 10, 10 breath, or 1 to 1 to 1 ratio. Internally, does this have an effect of perturbation? Does this have an effect of cohering or organizing? Can you feel what this breath work does to the body? Do you get a sense of how it behaves in our structure? You feel your breath, your attention aggregating in some area. You feel your breath, your attention spreading, distributing in some particular way. There's no wrong answer. As we continually work with our breath, our attention, these warming movements, we start to change our default state. We know this in a cellular way. Even the very ground substance of our body changes with frequent revisits, warming, moving, stretching. Consciousness, too, how we pay attention. The shape of our awareness, the shape frequently taken, starts to alter our default way. We are self-transforming beings. So let's set our right leg out when you're ready to move. I've got my left heel in front of my groin, knees set widely, right leg out, left leg bent. And I am doing what I'm describing, so there's no mirroring advantages for you. Right hand down, chest opener. I've got both sit bones contacting ground. Inhale, draw the left arm up. And open up the hand bones and the foot bones. Exhaling, start to gently reach out through the ball of the right foot. I'm going to engage that quadricep a little bit just so I can feel the inside of the knee and the groin muscles. Those of you who are a little more sore or tender in the backs of the legs, what you can do is pull your heel bone toward your hip. As you pull it against the mat and toward your hip, you can get another layer of muscular engagement that may feel protective. It takes a lot of neurochemical resources to contract fully. It's really a great skill to have as before you need to recover from something like a tear or a strain, right? Now, I'm using my right arm pressure against my inner right leg just to enforce that inner leg involvement. Because once I have that inner leg involvement, that's what helps me roll or turn the chest back. And if you don't like the feeling of your elbow, you can put a block in there. Feel for breathing into the sacrum. It's kind of challenging breathing while having fully contracted muscles. Now, lowering the left hand, we'll take it behind the back, latching onto thigh or clothing. There you go. So as I gently draw the left elbow away from the collarbone, you can feel for that uplift of breath in that shoulder joint area. Mm-hmm. And release. Forward fold. This will be light. So if you want more of a directly kind of the easiest, simplest fold, fold right between your thigh bones. If you want more of a side bend approach, fold more toward that right leg. I'm going to go toward the leg just so I can feel a little bit more something through that left side. And using those low belly muscles, just gently moving them back to assist with that exhalation. I know this isn't our usual way of exhaling throughout our day. But it can certainly help us find our authentic support. Not to mention, as you're drawing those belly muscles back, slowing that exhalation, you can feel how that belly motion kind of reaches into the back and the sacral area. It's not a hard move. It's really just a technical, soft way of exhaling. And inhale, walk. Elevate torso. Relax those leg muscles. You've been holding them that whole time. And we'll switch sides. So we've got left leg straight, right knee bent, knees set widely apart. We'll start with the chest opener. Inhale, draw right arm up. Exhaling, press through ball of left foot. Find inner leg. You can do this by accentuating that big toe ball mount. You can do this by drawing the heel bone into the ground at your sit bone. You can do this by engaging the quadricep, by layering all those muscle contractions on top of each other. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Kat. Yeah, nothing should feel funky in the knee. And with that inner leg tuned up, so to speak, reach back through the right shoulder, the right side chest. And you can feel for those absorptive breaths into the right lobe, that upper lobe of the lung. It's not a muscle. It's not a muscular pulling the breath in. To me, it feels more like a deep solar plexus or deep and internal breath that spreads softly all the way up to the collarbone. There's nothing wrong with either of those breaths, but it's just a different way of accessing the body and its information, its intelligence. I'm going to lower the right hand, slipping it behind back. Now, as I do, I keep lifting this chest. So with my right side chest lifted, I reach back. I may not be able to reach as far, but at least my shoulder isn't collapsing or translating forward. Now, I can breathe into that collar, chest, some of those neck structures that connect into that collar area. And if you want, Marissa, you can draw the elbow down, pull with the hand. It's not so much of an arm pull, but a kind of a chest exposure, right side chest exposure. There you go. And when we release, forward fold. We fold toward the left leg. If you need it milder, not as side bendy, you may fold right between your thighs. By folding toward the leg, we'll get a little more bias through the right side. And inhale, walk your way up. And I think I want to show you this one move. Because as I'm kind of looking at the relaxed neck, the collective relaxed neck, there might be something helpful. So as what I'm about to show you should not be done to strain or intolerance. But everyone's seen these little neck moves where the chin kind of gets pulled back. I don't find it's really that helpful to feel it there so much as if I were lying down and I wanted to see my navel. That kind of gives me a good sense of it. There's a couple of things that happen. There's a slight lengthening in these deep, deep internal neck things. You kind of turn on. So we'll have a couple of places to play with it, but let me just show you how this might work in those relaxed neck scenarios. Because we're getting into the shoulder today, let's just say I have this very, this shoulder opener. Okay? If I just relax my neck completely, my shoulder just won't really go back. I won't get the front of shoulder thing. But if I can just feel some of those really deep inner neck muscles, and I'm not saying bandha, I'm not saying strain, I'm not saying hold or tighten, but it's just a little bit of structure, like up periscope. And then I start to relax my up periscope until I find an interesting point. Then I can play between structure that supports and ease that helps me neurologically, neuromuscularly. So I'm asking you to go play with I'm holding myself, and then we'll dial back into relaxed neck, thus preventing the dropsies. We'll play. So let's help ourselves to elbows and knees. The head and the neck position really, from our infancy, has helped organize our whole rest of body. Our eyes and neck, how we hold that noggin on top of our body informs the very, very beginnings of our identity. Right? So this eye and this neck thing it's a really profound, deep, deep study if you really want to take it historically down to infancy. I love that. All right, Dolphin, our forearms are set out. Now, if you're amenable to it, just very, very gently look at your navel. Those of you who are exposed to other styles of yoga will know this move. This is a dristi move. Can you eyeball your navel? Yeah, it's a very, do it as soft as possible, as minimally as possible. What does that take to look at one's navel? And you feel what that does to the neck. Now, gently relax that activity until you feel a softening. Yes, yes, good. On your next exhale, we'll press into Dolphin. But I hope you can feel that it doesn't hang the head down. Just that little move actually just helps the head be with the body. Could you do it here? Absolutely. Very gently and as minimal a move as possible. Can your eyes look in the direction of your navel? Yes. Now you want to hold that for a breath. That's perfectly fine. And then you can release your neck activity from that point. Now you can start to feel how the structure of your whole dolphin kind of shifts off that one little head move, that one little eye move. And yes, this will feel a little different than going directly to relaxed neck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pressing through those arms. Shoulders are energized, working, yet light, spacious. And let's begin our descent. We'll set the knees down carefully. So when we lie on back, you'll feel this move with, it'll be more pronounced. Now, if you have any neck issues, you may want to just completely omit this. This is a really deep, reflexive move. And so really from, let's say, ground lying, we're preparing for our abdominals. If you want to feel what the eyes does for the neck and for the deep neck muscles, keep your head low to the ground. Start to look at your eyes into your navel, and then only lift the head up as much as you need. So just have a little bit of vision for what's between your legs or the bottom of your torso. Connect to your breath. Okay, now I want you to feel moving from this working motion, and relaxing it slowly, setting it all back down. Okay. Now, with our hands behind our head, they will be supplying us a lot of support so that we don't have to work those neck muscles quite that strongly. Bring the feet off the ground. We'll begin elbow to knee. And let's begin with the eyes. So there's kind of a downward, down at 6 o'clock motion of the eyes. Oh, did you notice that? What happened to your sacrum and your tailbone as your eyes looked at your navel? Isn't that kind of neat? These are little motions that I think it's really worthwhile to pick up on. Okay, so the eyes look toward the sacrum. Inhale. I'm elevating the head and the chest just enough. I could see my navel if I wanted to. Curled tailbone. Exhale, left leg reaches out. Spreading the foot bones. And you can just look at your navel as you pull it down. It'll just inform us if it moved. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg out reaches. And if you're looking at your navel, draw it down, see that it moves. Good, inhale, bend right knee. I'm relaxing the head a little bit into the hands. Curl tailbone, exhale, left leg reaches out. I wonder if anyone's having an easier time abdominally by using these very, very light guiding eye motions. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bending the left knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg reaches out. Yeah. Now, if I need a little more rest, I can let the head go into the hands. If I want a little more work, that's easy to do. Inhale, right knee bent. Let's do 3 more per side, please. Many of us will tend to look out at the foot, which isn't bad. And you could play with this. What happens to your whole spine if you move your eyes from your navel to your foot? Yeah, you can feel how your head wanted to kind of go back a little bit, huh? And then go ahead and look in through the navel, cat. Right? There's a whole tonal difference, I think. Where we look informs how we're working, right? Before we decide to move, at least from a developmental perspective, we see something. Our eyes develop first, and then our eyes start to take us to places. Oh, that looks interesting. I want to go there. So the eyes start to move the spine. There you go. So we're just doing 3 per side. If you're done, just please do set feet down and rest. Rest the eyes, rest the neck, rest the belly. We will do it with a prop between the legs also. Hooray! Grab your roll or your block. Place it between legs. Do you want a blanket instead, Brett? Do you want a blanket? Okay. If you want one, there is one. All right, legs go skyward. Let's do it. Interlace hands behind head. And let's do one more teeny experiment here. With your gaze, with your eyes at your toes, connect to breath. And you're just feeling the quality of your breath. Feeling the Ujjayi technique, feeling that in the throat. And I'll start with the eyes, shift the eyes into the navel, and just barely lift the head up enough. And now connect to breath. Your head or your shoulders might be up a little bit, but connect to breath. Feel the qualitative difference, if any. Okay, if you need to repeat the experiment, set the head down all the way. This time I would say feel what happens in your back as you look at your feet and connect to your breath. Feel what happens in your abdomen. And then the switch of that is bring your eyes toward your navel. Barely lift the head off the ground, and as you breathe, feel what happens in your back and in your abdomen. Right? Totally different scenario. So those of you working with back concerns, sacral concerns, you can set the head down for a moment. Can you get how the eye placement may make a massive offering for you? Right? So I'm going to go with the eyes. I'm going to cue us with the eyes. Eyes toward navel. Inhale, head and shoulders up off the ground. Hold that. Squeeze the roll with your inner legs, curling the tailbone. And now exhale, lead Lungs toward the right thigh. So it's just a little shift to the right. Draw low belly down. Inhale, come back centrally. Squeeze object, curling tailbone. Exhale, lead a little bit left. So lungs go a little toward the left thigh. You can look at your left hip if that helps. Pull low belly down. Inhale, come back centrally. Squeeze the object. This time go right up the middle. Exhale, curling the tailbone. Reach the legs straight up. Reach the elbows straight up. Look with the eyes into the navel. Pull low belly down. Inhale. Easing the head down an inch. The shoulder blades are still up. Squeeze the thing. Exhale, curling tailbones. Reach just a little bit toward your right thigh. You can look into your right pocket with your eyes. Your lungs move toward the thigh. Pull low belly down. Inhale, back centrally. Squeeze the thing. Exhale, curling tailbone. Lungs go a little toward that left thigh. Draw the low belly down. Inhale centrally. Squeeze the object, and now exhale. Elbows reach up higher. Legs reach toward the sky. Eyes can stay right into that navel. Go legs, go elbows. Draw the low belly down. Now, here we go. Inhale, let up just a little bit. Head relaxes in the hands. Go through those three on your own. Go one direction, right, left, and center. There you go. That's it, Debbie. The head is only minimally off the ground. So it's just enough for my eyes to peer into my navel or at my prop. Here you go. That's it, Kat. That's it. Good. And again, if you, good. You're feeling a warmth. This is good news for your ground matrix, the pool that all of your tissues are swimming in. We set up for bridge. So you might like to move the roll and have a block beside you. So we set the feet up. They're in parallel or facing same direction. Inhaling, lifting the chest toward the chin. Exhale with the tailbone. And could you look into your navel as your tailbone lifts? Sure could. The buttock lifts and the chest lifts. So yeah, bridge may be mildly lengthening through the neck. All right. And it looks like all of us could afford to press or feel, you can simply feel the inner halves of the feet. We're doing this with If you want to put more pressure on the heel, it would be a kind of a calf stretch, but we could also do it that way too if you wanted to. We've changed positions a few times since the very beginning of our practice. How is it that you would like to participate in your process, whether that's a process of discovery or curiosity, rebuilding or healing, mending? And there's a breath component to that. Every action contains breath. Even if it's a held breath, there's breath in every one of our actions. Apply the block whenever you need it, if you need it. We're setting up for unlocking the hip. So if you need a little more pelvic or sacral stability, you can put the block more widely across your sacrum. And with the right leg, the right foot planted, inhale. Pick the left knee toward the chest, exhaling, elevating the left leg, lifting the left leg. Bend left knee, cross that ankle over thigh. Outreach to that left hip, left thigh. As the legs are working, is breath represented in the pelvis? You feel breath in front of the sacrum, in front of those low back bones. Reach the thigh bone away from the guts, not just the hip socket, reach away from the guts. You'll start to feel the hip's relation to the guts. Reach the thigh bone away from the heart. You'll start to feel the hip's relation to the heart. Oh, right, different. Reach the thigh bone away from the brain. And feel the hip's relationship to the brain. And we'll set the left foot down. When it feels firm, supportive, ready, inhale, pick the right knee toward chest, and we'll elevate, first elevate right leg. Bend right knee, crossing ankle over thigh. I like to flex the foot. Can you feel the breath in the sacrum? And if not, just start to go in that direction. Start to get curious. How would I feel? How would I open up my sacrum to breath awareness? How would that area open? Be open to breath. And if we reach the thigh bone away from the pelvis, there's one particular experience. If we reach the thigh bone away from the guts, you feel the hip in a wholly new way. If we reach the thigh bone away from the heart, so you kind of have to breathe into the heart and the hip together. And you can feel for reaching the thigh bone away from the brain. Good, release. We'll set that right foot down to the ground. That's plenty. When both feet feel established on the ground, begin your descent, having removed the block. The sound on this side is having launched the block. Cool. All right, from lying, we will do one round of frog. So bring the feet off the ground, separating the legs so they're bent and wide apart. Interlace the hands behind the head, and some of you may just like the eyes into navel. That may be plenty of spinal movement. Inhaling, starting the eyes going toward the navel, elevating the head just as much as you need. Exhale, reach the thigh bones away from each other. Pull low belly down. We'll just do a few more. Inhaling and exhaling. Pull low belly down. Do the last three on your own. Now, while I usually say there's a position for the feet to be in, if you have some sacral issues, you may actually benefit from elevating them higher, depending on. So put a little more flexion, or when you are entirely through, of course, use hands, help legs together. That completes that. Let's turn onto a side and press to standing. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, fold. Here's that eye going to navel, drawing the belly back as you fold. Aha, inhales. Step the left foot back, lunge. We'll set the knee down. Drawing the arms up. Remain right here for just a moment. We're moving into a lounge lunge. So the top of your left foot is on the ground. We'll set that left foot down. Oh, I gotcha. Right arm grabs the outer right thigh. So I've got two parts, a squeeze and that side bend drape. Reaching back to the left leg. There you go. Yeah, you could do an easy twisting lunge like that. There you go. Thank you. And I'm kind of working that inner left leg. There's those deep inner groin parts by reaching through the big toe, the left big toe, by kind of spiraling through the leg as if to put toenail to earth. That's big toenail. Yes. And by squeezing your inner right leg in, you get the whole pelvic kit and caboodle. Inhale, unwind. We'll set the hands down to lower. Exhaling, step the right foot back. And we'll lower. Cobra, inhale. Exhale, lower, downward dog. And we are just going to the other side again. Inhale, left foot forward, lunge. Remain here. Lounge lunge, right hand down to the ground and the left arm to the outside of the left leg. Inhaling, unwind, we'll step the left foot back. Now before we lower, you take that block that you have and either the long way, the 9-inch way, or the 6-inch way, slip it between your ankles. Again, if you're working with some sacral things, you may need to go wider. So let's give it a squeeze. So what's squeezing? There's my inner ankle bone. It's the inner edge of my foot, so it's the big toe edge and even the heel edge, the inner heel edge. Can you get all 3 surfaces or some of those surfaces contacting the block? Inhale, elevate the hands, the elbows, the chest, a little bit off the ground. You've got that block in the ankles. Exhale, squeeze together tops of shoulders and then middle parts of shoulder blades and then bottom tips of shoulder blades. Now, some of you working with some back things. As you inhale, we're going through this a couple more times. You might intone eyes toward navel. Exhale, squeeze tops of shoulders and then middle parts and then bottom tips. It's not hanging the head, right? Inhale, let's do one more round. Squeeze that block. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, the top parts, the middle parts, the lower bottom bits, and release. So you can get a very profound sense of how just a little eye movement is different than relaxing the neck. Yeah, so some of you may prefer that slight, hate to say navel gaze, but it really is kind of a navel gaze. Inhale the hands under the chest and we press back, downward dog. Can you do that dristi or that gaze, eyes to navel here? You absolutely can. And then from that dristi, from that eye and neck position, you can start to relax it from there. So it's like letting go of the eye and the neck activity from that navel spotting. Inhale, step the right foot forward, warrior 2. So we may need a block as we get into head to ankle prep, going right hand to right thigh, and the left hand can go to the ground or can go to a block. Remember this? All right. Inhaling, feeling breath in pelvis. Exhaling, soft pressure. Trunk arcs away from that thigh ever so delicately. I'm still pressing through my heel. I'm There you go, and maybe turning it out. Okay. Right, release. So now we set that left knee down for twisting pigeon toward the foot. We're getting right into it. We walk the right foot to the left side. And for this one, I am lining up my shin with the top of my mat. Now, some of you may like to simply post here with your hands. You may not want the twist or the twist just yet. And then some of us may grab the foot or start to arc our chest toward our foot. Okay. The important thing is not just going as far as you can, but to participate in the process in the way that you described to yourself, the way that you imagined for yourself. So if I'm in this for healing or mending, and I'm cranking in those end ranges and it doesn't feel mending, maybe I change my approach. Maybe I hunt out the place where it does feel like I'm contributing and building the body. And so just pulling on it. And inhaling, we'll walk our hands back under our shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. And you can also rest your foot on your heel. Yeah. Right. We're moving into that warrior two on the other side. Inhale the left foot forward. There's a head to ankle prep. I'm going left hand to left thigh and right hand to ground. Now this is one of those places where, to me, the neck makes a massive difference on the sacrum and the low back. But if you're arcing the body, regarding the navel with your eyes, it has to take on a slightly different shape. So you certainly can peer with your eyes in the direction of the navel, but you might be a little turned off to one side. And then you can relax the head weight and the neck from that place. It might be interesting to note the frequency or the moments that your eyes dart away from the navel or the pelvis. When we release, inhale the hands around the left side of left foot, twisting pigeon. So we set the right knee down. We walk the left foot across and lie the shin down. There you go. Good. Now you're free to post up and remain here or start to reach toward left foot. Again, it's your process, it's your body. We just keep doing the checks. Am I involving myself in a mending way, in a building way, in a curiosity way? What is the process you're invoking for yourself? And do our moves match our intent? And inhaling will bring the hands back under the shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. Go smoothly. Now, if I'm reading this right, there might be a couple of us looking between the thumbs. Just feel the motion as the eyes go in the direction of the navel. You don't have to go all the way there, but as you start to intone, feel what happens to the neck, feel what happens to the whole spine. You can connect to breath, and you can also release the head and the neck so they're not actively moving toward the navel. Yeah, let's take one more deep breath. Some of your spine's adjusted. Some of your back's adjusted, that's neat. All right, we're back in Warrior Two for Archer. Inhale the right foot forward. Bring a strap along if you choose. It's left elbow up, it's right elbow down for this one. Thanks. Now we've really reached a crossroads. Because that eye movement did something really spectacular for our low backs and our sacrum and our tailbone area. But if we do it here, our upper back tends to round and maybe our shoulders moved a little bit. So you can intone looking at the navel without looking at the navel. Here's that up periscope move. So I can look with my eyes and I can periscope the top of my head toward the sky. Ah, feel that one. Yeah, so you feel it. So some of you practice those bandhas. You can feel that deep neck engagement. It's there. It's not tense. Mm-hmm. So now breathing into our brain, because a lot of that neck stuff allows our brain to breathe. Let's release. Set, strap down, relax the arms. Now, when we set the left knee down, give yourself a little extra cushion. And we can do this without a strap if we need. So I'm just opening up the loop of my strap a little bit. I'm going to grab the left foot with my left hand and loop. So I like a big one. Oh, thank you. Glad you found it. If that feels perfectly acceptable, balance-wise, you may bring the right hand to the strap as well. You can also leave the right hand on the thigh. Here's another little extra. It's a little detail. If I put my hand on my thigh, I can play pulling the thigh up into my hand. Now feel what that does to your pelvis. Some of you will love that extra support and that engagement as you play, pulling the thigh up into your hand. That's it, cat, that's it. You feel that little pelvic shift. Okay. It takes more work to do that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, when you release, just leave the strap there. Shift the hips back. We're taking a twist before our pigeon. Inhale the left arm up, the ribs up, the chest up. Exhale, hook that left elbow over the right thigh. So twisting lunge. And inhaling, when we release, now we're getting into that pigeon. Now this might be where we get a little extra support under the right hip. So blanket or whatever you love. This can be done lying, so if you're back sensitive, you're not really into back bends today, you could do this lying. Okay. So I would just be low, my chest would be lower to the ground. As I want to play a bit more with the strength of that right leg, strongly opening up the hips, I can bring the chest more upright. Some days I put a block under my right hand, and that actually helps me steer and actually turn on those deep, low back supportive muscles. So as I palm that block, as I grab it, I can literally like pull and turn. That's core. So I'm steering the bus, literally steering the bus. Because I may not feel that I'm very supported here until my hip opens up. Sometimes I just have to be really open, and then I start to feel those, like I can stay up in places. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to look down, but can you feel those deep neck muscles? Up periscope. Because the eyes and the neck do matter in our back bends. There you go. Yeah. And it's not that I'm pulling my chin down, it's that to me, those deep neck muscles pertain to like the underside and the back of my brain. That's just my subjective. All right, let's release. Ease that down. Inhale, we'll bring the hands under the shoulders. We'll slide that right knee back. Disentangle. Exhale, lower down. We're just going to do that other side and get you into your Sunday. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower, downward dog. You can press to your knees if that feels better on your back. All right, so we've got an archer and warrior 2. Inhale, left foot forward. And for this archer, it's right elbow up, left elbow down. I don't want to look down. Like, I don't want to just flop my head down, right? Because that'll round my back. It'll collapse my chest. It'll round my shoulders. I'm in this for the chest opening also. But if I intone eyes down, I lengthen my low back. And then as I intone up periscope, I start to extend or lift through the chest and the upper back. So I can have them both. Yeah. Cool. All right, release. Put a little extra padding under your right knee, please. As we set it down, we're looping our right foot with a strap. So I can do a right hand grab or a both hand grab. You just grab me if you need me. Yep, I am wall. I am wall. Good. So if your low back's sensitive, you can find those micro eye motions that would help you lengthen the low back. And then you can periscope gently up the neck and the brain to extend, to lift through the chest. That's it, Brett. That's it. Now you can breathe through your whole core. That's it. That's it. Isn't that amazing how the breath quality changes with these little eye and head shifts? You can breathe, we can feed our brain. It's one of my hobbies. All right, when we release, just leave the strap down, set the foot down. Twisting lunge, back the hips slightly up. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale the right arm over the left thigh. Let this be like a little reprieve. We're going to do this in 3 parts. You're going to intone, eyes to navel. You're going to intone, periscoping toward the wall. And then 3, we're going to relax the neck gradually from there. And inhale as we unwind. Pigeon. Walk the left foot across the mat. Lie the shin down. You may need to prop your left cheek, your butt cheek. If you decide grabbing with the right arm only, you can move chest close to the ground. This will be more pigeon and less back bend. I like propping my left hand on a block. Just another style. And that allows me to steer, to literally trigger on differently those deep muscles of the low back and the sacrum. Isn't that nice? So yeah, if I pull, you can feel your right hip moving toward your left. Yeah. There you go. And let's release. Set that down. When you bring the hands to the floor, slide your left knee under you. So just take a hands and knees for a moment. And at hands and knees, we'll take a few exhalations whereby your low belly draws back, draws back, draws back and up. Feel how it's like an Uddiyana. Let the belly go. We'll let you reset. And when you're ready to exhale again, draw the belly back. Exhaling the belly back. Exhaling the belly back and up. And release. Lie on your back. And we'll do just a few back helpful abdominals. Just a few, and we'll give it a rest. All right. So I'm going to use the eyes and the neck to my back's advantage. So start with the eyes, looking into the navel. Inhale, lift head, shoulders up just a little bit. And now exhale, take the right leg, go straight up. Keep the eyes with the navel. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend knee. Now keep looking into the navel so that as you breathe, your breath gets reflected into your back. Exhale, left leg up. It's going to keep looking at the navel. Pull low belly down. Now a little detail shift. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone. Exhale now. Reach up through the right heel. Send the heel straight up. Flex the toes down. Pull the low belly. See it move. Good. Inhale, bend right knee. Exhale, lift left heel towards sky. Straight up. Press up. Pull low belly down. Seeing it move. Now focusing into the back, this last pair. Inhale, breath into back. Exhale, curling the tailbone. Right heel up, low belly moves down. Inhale, right knee bends. Exhale, left heel reaches up. Pull low belly down. And really set your head down. Oh, please enjoy any other back release that you require. So for some, it's just supporting the feet off the ground, like lying, just hips and knees flexed. For some of you, it's putting the legs up on the wall. That's sufficient. Some of you like pigeon. But I want you to decide if you need anything else before you lie back. For Shavasana. This ground matrix breathes. Substance that all of our muscles are swimming in. This notion, it's called fixatropy, is this notion that as we warm, move our body, our cellular matrix, we do that frequently, our body tends to behave more and more like liquid than stiff. Consciousness, awareness, too. As we frequently play in these enlarged states of awareness, these caring states of awareness, it's like the ground substance, our default tends to be more fluid and whole. Inclusive, embracing. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. As you make your way up. Namaste.